Happy video day, guys. So today's video, we finally got it. The Natasha Denona Glam Palette finally arrived on my doorstep. I've been waiting for this since so early in the afternoon, and it finally got here now. It's so late. So excited to be testing out this formula for you guys and telling you guys what I'm thinking about this color story. It is $65 US. It's available right now at Sephora, so you can pick it up if you like it. And I've got a lot of stuff to say about it. You guys do know that I already did my Make Up Your Mind on it. If you guys haven't seen that video, I suggest you watch it after this one. I'm gonna go over a lot more about the color story of this palette, and I want to put the formula to the test in this video. Mostly, I really want to try it out and see if it's worth it. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be really diving into this palette. So if you're new and you've never seen me before, I'm Christina Brooke. I would love it if you would hit subscribe and join my channel. I would love to see you again. So let's go ahead and let's dive into this palette and let's get into all the information. The Glam Palette from Natasha Denona, retailing for $65 US. It does actually have 5 mattes and 10 metallic shades in it. So this is primarily a metallic palette from Natasha, and it is a beautiful cool tone palette. So if you look at it, you will also notice that there is no shade names for this palette. She kind of designed it on purpose so that each one of the rows would create an eye look. So they're called center lid, outer lid, inner corner, crease, and transition, so that you can kind of customize this palette how you want it to look. So depending on how you like your eye looks to look, you can kind of like switch this around. Now, looking at it myself, I would say like this whole entire row of metallics, I would not use that whole row of metallics on my lid. You know, so I definitely think there is more of a thought process here of jumping into your other midi-sized palettes of Natasha Denona and maybe mixing in some other colors into this palette to create these customized looks. So that's just my opinion. I think it's a very cool idea. Personally, I probably wouldn't use the colors as they are right now. Some of them I would, some of them I wouldn't. The palette does look like her other midi palettes. However, this one I feel like gets a lot more fingerprints on it than her other ones. I don't know if it's just this front is a little bit different. It is a little different. Maybe it's also the color, but I love these size palettes. I think they're the perfect size palette, and I cannot wait to dive into it. I love Natasha Denona's formula. I am gonna tell you guys right now, this formula to me reminds me a lot of the Sunrise palette. Let's go ahead and let's do this vampy eye look, and then at the end, I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking. All right, so we are zoomed in and ready to go. So this is what it looks like. Oh my God. It is an extremely cool tone palette, but it is so pretty. Like, I just feel like it's so eye-pleasing. I really like it a lot. Just looking at this palette right now, it's just so pretty. It just really is. So we're gonna go ahead and play with an eye look, kind of play around with these shadows, see how they work. I have my fingers, like, I literally have my fingers crossed right now because I really hope that this is good because the colors are just gorgeous. She has her little system here that's like center lid, outer lid, inner corner, crease, transition, and she kind of like has it all laid out for you. But I am probably not gonna go by that because I like to like kind of do my own thing. So we'll just see where I go with this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just start off with, which color? I think I'm just gonna start off with this color right here. I'm just gonna point at them. I'm gonna put this all the way up. Oh, the pigment on here is really nice, and I really like this color a lot. It's a really pretty cool tone taupe. It's a very like a stone taupe shade. Oh wow, does that blend good? Okay, so I love Natasha Denona's mattes. Honestly guys, I love Natasha Denona's formula. In my opinion, she's one of the best formulas out there on the market. So her palettes usually always get me so excited. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna grab a deep shade. I kind of wanna just do something smoky and cool. It's a cool tone palette. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this color called Lash Line, and I'm gonna put that all over the lid. I'm gonna go for a really dark look here. I'm gonna try doing something a little different. I also want to see how this color lays on the lid. Make sure it's not patchy. Getting a little bit of, I feel like this color just needs to be built up a little bit. You need to put on and pat and then just kind of reapply. Let's see how deep and smoky we can get here. That's actually pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right back into the color Crease, and I'm gonna use that to kind of blend these edges out a little bit. It'll probably lighten up this tone just a tad. Getting like a little bit right here that I feel like it didn't like apply. Could just be my oily lids. Next time I'll put a primer on. I've been waiting for this palette all day, guys, so I probably should have just set my lids before applying this, but I think it's actually blending pretty nice. I'm just gonna go back into Crease and just blend this out. And I actually want to grab a little bit of smoke. Actually, you know what? I want to grab a little blend. Let's kind of add a little bit of blend. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so now this is going to kind of lighten everything up a little bit. I want to play with inner corner. Why not? Because this is going to be super sparkly. So this actually is more of a silver. I didn't know it was going to be so silver. So it might actually match pretty good to the color I picked from my Make Up Your Mind. I thought it was going to be less silver. And then as I get to the center, I'm just going to kind of grab this color right next door. That's really pretty. I'm just going to go ahead and let me finish off smoking this out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and bring some of this under the lash line. So I'm just going to grab this color Blend. Then, this is really pretty. I'm just going to go ahead and let me grab lash line one more time. This really dark. I love this tone. Oh my God. That is, oh. Honestly, right now, everything applied so nice. I did a more vampy look because I really wanted to test a lot of these darker shades and like really put them out there and see how smoky I can get. And wow. All right, let me put on some liner mascara and we'll get into a few thoughts. All right, guys, and this is the final look. I have to tell you guys, I really think the formula of these shadows are just impeccable. I mean, I love Natasha Denona's formula, and I feel like this is typical Natasha Denona metallics. A lot of these are not extreme impact because I believe it has to do more with like the color tone. Metallics are just very smooth. They apply super nice. If you guys can see, like they drag. Oh my goodness, that color. But a lot of these tones are just really gorgeous. Because these are a little bit lighter shades, they're not going to be as impactful as, let's say, it was like a yellow gold. But these colors are absolutely stunning. This is the most gold inside the palette, and it leans, and it's a lot more cool. I cannot wait to put that all over my lids. So I know I'm going to be playing with a lot more looks here. I do think that some of the tones are going to look a little bit similar on the lid, and I did say that in my Make Up Your Mind. Some of these tones, yeah, I mean, like for example, brow bone and center lid, if you guys see them both together. This is brow bone, this is center lid. They are so similar. This other center lid, I shouldn't even call them that because they're all the same name. But if you guys can tell, like these three tones, this is the deepest one. These two are very close in color. And when you put them on, they're gonna look very similar. Yes, the color is a little bit different, but there is a similarity. So there is some tones in here that I do feel like when I did my Make Up Your Mind, I did say that, you know, they look a little repetitive. And it's true, they're very close in color. These two tones right here are very similar. They have a slight difference when swatched, but they are kind of similar. I would say, just based off of what I see here, if you guys have the Mini Glam, you may have two shades that are semi-close to this palette, but a lot of the other ones are not going to be close at all. So this palette has a bunch of beautiful tones in it. I do think that maybe 2 or 3 of them were a little bit repetitive and maybe they didn't need to be there. I also feel like I still wish, and like even these two here, very close in tone. Once they're blended out, they're gonna look pretty similar on the lid. But that being said, the quality of the shadows are just so impeccable. They're just so good. And I love these cool tones. This would have been a warm tone palette, and there would have been like 1 or 2 shades that were so close in color, I probably would have been a little bit more like, just because I feel like even in Natasha Denona's range, there's so many warm tone palettes. But because this is a cool tone palette, and I don't have cool tones really in my collection, hardly any, it's not bothering me as much that there's like 2 repetitive shades. One of the things that I still think, and this is something I said in my Make Up Your Mind, and looking at this palette, I still kind of wish that this gorgeous pink right here, I really wish that she would have translated a little bit of pink into the palette, maybe had a few little mattes in like a very dusty pink. I think that would have been really, really pretty, because this dusty pink is just insanely gorgeous, but maybe she's just saving that for the retro. I'm hoping that she comes out with a midi size retro, but the quality is there, the textures are there. The eye looks that you can create are all going to be very beautiful, cool tone. You don't have that much variety when it comes to mattes in the palette, and I did notice that when I was playing with my Make Up Your Mind, and it's true, there's not that much variety in the mattes. One of the cool things about Natasha Denona is that all of her pans are removable, so you can take these pans out. So if you have any of her other midi-sized palettes, you can add some mattes in here that you love, and you can change this palette up a little bit. So I do love that feature, and I also like the feature that she did that she calls it center eye, outer lid, inner corner. I actually like that because I can customize this how I want. So I think like if you're a makeup artist, if you're somebody who already likes to create your own eye looks, you can customize this with your own Natasha Denona palettes and create like the perfect eye looks. And it doesn't have to be just from this palette itself. You can grab from your Sunrise, you can grab from your Bronze palette and just kind of customize this palette. So I think that's a great feature. I think it's a beautiful palette. I do think that there is a few repetitive shades that maybe could have been just a tad deeper or a tad lighter, or maybe brought in a different color family altogether that would have still stayed cool tone. But overall, very pretty palette, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. I'm going to continue using this. There's going to be a lot more looks coming on the channel, and I'm definitely going to be playing with more colors. But I wanted to get this video out for you guys just so you guys can know if the formula lived up to Natasha Denona formula. If you guys want to know more about color story and what I'm thinking about the color story of this palette, I'm going to go ahead and link my Make Up Your Mind right here, where I go through my collection and find similar tones before an eyeshadow palette releases, because in that video I am going over a lot of the tones, and I do feel like they match up pretty good to this one. So for the most part, a lot of those things will probably be pretty true. Now, I did remember thinking that one of these was going to have a little bit more glitter. I don't really think any of them really have glitter. So I don't know. None of them to me really have any glitter in them. So it's just, they all look like metallics to me. So that's my first impression as of right now. I'm going to continue playing with this palette. Don't worry, there's going to be more to come on it, and some more eye looks, because I definitely want to really dive into this, and there's a lot more to look at. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me those thumbs up. Leave those comments down below. Let me know what else you want me to do with this palette, what kind of looks, all of those things. I'll try to do as fast as I can for you guys. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.